Good evening. My name is Michaela Payne, and I'm a 2-year member of Youth Leadership. And on behalf of our program, we would like to welcome you to our 2014-2015 Youth Leadership Graduation. We would like to thank Representative Rick Jaspers, Pickens County School Superintendent Lula Mae Perry, Pickens County Commissioner Chairman Robert Jones, Eastern County Commissioner Becky Denny, Chief Judge Brenda S. Weaver, District Attorney B. Allison Sosby, and Probate Judge David Lindsay. And we would also like to give a special thanks to Mary Livesay with NoPickens.com for all of their attendance, and we as an organization appreciate all the dedication, effort, and continuous effort on each of your parts. And at this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Max Kaler, who will be giving our invocation tonight.
Well, this is a graduation, and so I remember graduations as being something very sort of festive, and people throw caps and all those kind of things, but we're not going to do that tonight. But just as a way of celebrating the work, the learning that's taken place with these youth this year, for all of those who've helped put this program together, for the sponsors, for the counselors, the advisors. We also have our adult leadership group with us here tonight. So for everybody that's been involved in leadership, let's just give everybody a great big yay! Let's pray. Good evening, Lord. We gather tonight as your people. We gather that's been in a place that's been a gift. The beauty of the mountains, the generosity of the people in money, time, and talent. We thank you for these students tonight, for their willingness to be involved in a leadership program that stretches them and challenges them and help prepares them for their future. We pray your blessing of wisdom upon their lives in every decision that they make. We thank you for their parents who have raised and cared and loved and directed and even sometimes disciplined. So Lord, just bless them and all of us tonight, that in this wonderful place we call Pickens County, we can celebrate your love and your blessing as we treat others as we want to be treated in everything we're about. And everybody here tonight said, amen.
And at this time, we will begin dinner. And note that tonight's dinner is provided by A Taste of Joy. The dinner is a buffet and can be served from both sides, starting on the right, which is over here. And everyone, please enjoy your dinner. Thank you. As I previously said, I am a 2-year member of this prestigious organization. I've had the opportunity to experience excessive growth, not only in my skill set, but also as a person. My affirmation to attend college bloomed at a very young age, and with the support of teachers as well as my parents, I reached the conclusion that a collegiate future was well within my reach. However, there are some procedures for a collegiate future that cannot be found by sitting in a classroom. This organization, through many tactics, is gradually preparing us as young people to tackle the problems that teens are facing when entering into adulthood. For those who knew me 2 years ago, they are well aware that one of my biggest fears that I carried with me is my fear of public speaking. When I first began the program, I assumed that I could easily avoid the concept and still gain other beneficial skills to carry into my future pursuits. However, the guiding sponsors of our program were definite on enabling me to blossom my abilities through the number of tasks that they had prepared. For 2 years, I have endured interview building clinics, and I have worked on developing my ability to project my knowledge to the people I must handle every day. Without this pivotal assistance, I would not be anywhere near prepared to step into the world of employment. This organization brought in some of Pickens' finest citizens to broaden our knowledge on our desired career pathways, and these men and women divulged their secrets to becoming exceptional members of the workforce as well as overcoming adversity. By gaining multiple event-based speaking parts following these clinics, I am not the same timid person that I was at the beginning of this program. Not only was I chosen to speak at this graduation for youth leadership, I will also be speaking at my high school graduation this spring as senior class president. 2 years ago, I did not have the courage to stand before my classmates in a classroom setting, and now, 2 years later, I will be delivering the farewell speech to begin the next phase of our lives. Without youth leadership, I would not be debating such a large task, but I am more than grateful to apprehend this goal with my firm set of leadership characteristics that will aid me to not only prosper at that graduation, but prosper in life. Without this pivotal assistance, I would not be anywhere near prepared to step into the world of employment. Through a number of learning gateways, youth leadership has provided necessary foundations to spark an interest in the adolescents of Pickens County with the hopes of having it benefit our small community. These gateways include providing etiquette classes to improve manners, allowing us to view the structure of the judicial system by touring the courthouse, and graciously sponsoring a funded trip to our state's capital. Though these adventures seem to be strict, youth leadership is based around learning opportunities that also advocate fun. One of the best field trips we attended was a YLP retreat with the hopes of developing team bonding and self-knowledge. After a long week, I had developed better relationships with my fellow club members than I had with some of the classmates that I'd had my whole life. And you, all of you sitting in this room, you are all benefactors to the initiation of a number of excellent lives to be lived. I, along with my fellow members of this youth leadership, could not express our gratitude for your involvement and impact that will better our futures. And at this time, I would like to introduce our two guest speakers, who are also former members of the Youth Leadership Program, Lexus Stanley and Lindsay Ramirez. Lexus Stanley participated in YLP her senior year, graduating in 2012. Lindsay Ramirez participated her junior and senior year, graduated in 2012. Both are currently employed by the Appalachian Judicial Circuit and are in the Leadership Pickens Program, class of 2015. They are the first Youth Leadership Pickens participants to ever return to this program as Chambers Adult Leadership Pickens Program, and we are so gracious to have them today. Thank you.
Like she said, I did have the amazing privilege to be a part of youth leadership back actually in 2004. I think it was the first leadership class, and I have Judge Weaver to thank for that because I had no idea what I was getting into, had no expectations. I just knew she handed me the application and told me that I needed to fill it out because it would look great on my college application. And for those of you who know Judge Weaver, no is not really something that you tell her. So I happily took it, filled it out, and I was selected for the program and learned a lot through it. I love being able to meet both local and statewide leaders. That really impacted me to mold me into the leader I am today. I didn't really see how that impacted me truly until probably many years later when I would see just kind of how I took bits and pieces of those leaders and would make them my own. Then, 10 years or so later, Judge Weaver, also handed me the application for the Adult Leadership Program. Had no idea what I was going into, but once again, happily filled it out, and it has been just a privilege to be a part of it. Once again, meeting both local and statewide leaders, really in youth leadership, learning how you can create and become a leader. But adult leadership and Pickens leadership, you really learn how to get involved within your community. So as I was thinking about what I wanted to share with you guys as you are either going into your senior year or you're going to go off to college, just a few tips I wanted to give you. First and foremost, guard your integrity. Create that. That's not something that you can be taught. That's not something that you can buy. That is something that they're choices that you make. And whether it be in college or after that, your future employers are going to look for that. So that is your reputation. That is who you are known for. So make sure and guard that. Next, I would say be a servant. As our leadership class, we've been brought up as the question of what makes a good leader, and time and time again, it's servanthood and being humble. And I would challenge you guys with that. When you are in those leadership positions and you are in those roles, serve those around you. Serve the ones that you're over, serve the ones that you're under, and serve your community, even if you have nothing to do with them and you're just passing them. Serve them. Lastly, I would say be disciplined and work hard and do everything that you do to your best, whether that be your homework or your job or sports or anything. Do it to your utmost, to your best. Don't ever let failure make it seem like you can't do it. Teddy Roosevelt said, it is hard to fail, but it is worse to have never tried to succeed. So many times we think of leaders as they're perfect and they have the best plans and they never fail. But many times if you look back in history, the people who created the things that we use on a daily basis, or the people that we look up to and are our heroes, have failed many times, but they did not let their failure define them. They pushed through, they looked at ways they could do it better, they listened to advice of other people, and they eventually succeeded, and now many of them are our heroes. So congratulations to all of you on the accomplishment of graduating youth leadership, and I look forward to what your journey holds.
Hello, my name is Lexis Stanley. I was a part of the youth leadership class my junior and senior year of high school, and then I'm now part of it for adult leadership. And like Lindsay said, youth leadership helps teach you the skills and the tools you need to become a leader. But adult leadership, you get to utilize those tools you learn in the community to provide and to interact and grow your network. But throughout youth leadership and adult leadership, I've learned many lessons. But the main lesson and piece of advice I can stress tonight, in addition to what Lindsay said, is to build relationships and to build your reputation. Spend time with people who challenge your thinking and will push you to do things that are outside of your comfort zone. The relationships you build now will influence the career you someday look back on and remember. The relationships with your colleagues, employers, clients, and acquaintances will all combine to be a representation of you and your stamp in the professional world. Nurture these relationships and strive to give more than you take, and you'll always win. Lastly, your reputation is everything. Hold on to what you've built to get the job and evolve that into something that allows you to stand out as a true leader in everything you pursue. Congratulations of the Youth Leadership Class of 2015.
And at this time, I would like to recognize and introduce Angie Jones, Chair of the Youth Pickens Steering Committee. Please, let's come up here.
Good evening. Again, I'm Angie Jones. I'm the Chair of Youth Leadership. I work at Renaissance Bank as Pickens County President, and I'm the past Chair of the Chamber Board. Denise is going to be getting a couple of slides up for us. As we start, I just want to say it's so rewarding to listen to these girls get up and speak, and how we have watched everyone develop over the years going through the program and then seeing them as they move on into their future. I'd like to recognize our steering committee. Without all of their involvement and the dedication of time they put into this program, it would not be what we are able to offer. Amberly Godfrey, committee co-chair. Denise Duncan, Pickens County Chamber of Commerce. Michelle Bracken, and she's unable to be with us tonight. Cheryl Carter with Jasper Middle School. You'll please stand. Keely Child with Color Fund 2. Stacy Godfrey with Pickens County Progress, and she's not able to be here tonight. Rob Hoffbauer with Farmers Insurance. Cheryl Messner with Cheryl Messner CPA. Thank you. This time, if you are a member of the Pickens County Chamber of Commerce board member, please stand and be recognized. Thank you for being here. One of our sessions this year was the interview session. If you were an interviewer of the youth, would you please stand and be recognized? Thank y'all for your participation. This program is operated off of donations only. So we have had a lot of people to step up this year and give us the ability to add a lot more to our program. At this time, I'd like to recognize our Cornerstone sponsors. They are any sponsors for Cornerstone and Premier sponsors that are $500 and above. That is Chattahoochee Technical College, Georgia Power, and Amiclola Electric Membership Corporation. Our premier sponsors are Marty Callahan State Farm, Pepsi Beverage, Rotary Club of Jasper, and Royston. Thank y'all for your participation. Listed, we have additional sponsors who have contributed either at a lower financial level and dinner sponsors as well. We provide dinner at every session we have, so we have a lot of folks who have stepped up to either financially support that or restaurants who have donated that for us. Thank you. At this time, Denise Duncan will come forward to recognize the youth.
Good evening, everyone. It's amazing to see this crowd tonight. It's very exciting. We knew our class size grew this year, but I guess when we were thinking about graduation, we never really expected the attendance to be this large. In addition to our families, we have more of our sponsors, our supporters here with us tonight, and we thank you for that. People that have been left out of recognition tonight, and that's the parents have let us borrow your children over the past year, and I really appreciate you for that. They have been a joy. This has been we say this every year, but I truly mean it. Each year our program just grows and grows in the amount of leadership that comes to us already. So what we're getting as participants already are those youth that have that urge and ability to lead. And so I'm excited to know what's going to be leading Pickens County. So parents, we've got some great youth, and thank you for letting us borrow them for the last year. Those 11th graders, I hope you plan to come back. And if you don't, if it's the reason about the program, please let us know, because we want to improve it, because we do plan to make changes next year, so know that you're not coming back to do the same old. So before we go into the student recognition, which is what we're here for tonight, Angie recognized the steering committee members. However, I'd like to go a little further on that. So could I have my 6 youth participants to come up and help me out? And just stand in front of got 3 over here and 3 over here. So pick you a folder in the back. Although I'm hoping Keely has kind of nabbed her own folder. You keep it, okay. So Keely took her folder home, so she doesn't get a folder. The steering committee is the backbone of this program, and each month, as you know, the youth have a session, and the way that it ran this year is each steering committee took a session, and they were responsible for that, which made my life so much easier. Also, the youth had a book this year, and they were each assigned a chapter. So each steering committee leader also took a chapter, and they had a project. So it was just an amazing year, and I could have never done it without this wonderful steering committee. And I just want to kind of go over the past years. I started with the chamber in 2007, and when I started, the president at that time was Scott Evans. And Scott Evans had no children. He was not quiet about the fact that he was not a big fan of children, which is so ironic, because if you know Scott now, he has a grandchild, and he can't be separated from that grandbaby. So I kind of tease him about it. Do you remember when? But he was like, I need help. Can you come help me with this program? So the first graduating class that I was involved in, and it so happens, so was Michelle Bracken, who was unable to be with us tonight, and that was in 2007. So Michelle was one of those the following year, the next graduating class was in 2008, and I think we might have had probably seven graduates. And among that steering committee, I was joined by Cheryl Carter with Jasper Middle School. And she is still with me now, and she was in charge this year for the class projects at Pickens County High School, which was wonderful for the youth to be able to put it on there at the auditorium. And she usually does our downtown history or that month's session. So Ms. Sherry Carter, the youth love you, parents all know you, and you are a staple of our youth leadership program, and I can't thank you enough. So whoever has Ms. Carter's gift and notebook, if you will just take it over and present it to her. They didn't know I was doing a prize for them. Because this is a little bit of that same year, and I'm going to skip over it, another person joined, but I'm going to come back to her. Then the next year, then we had, we recruited another participant on the steering committee, and that's Ms. Amberly Godfrey with the Pickens County Board of Education. Amberly was in charge of our government trip, and thank you to Mr. Jaspers, who helped tremendously in making this a successful and wonderful trip for our youth. Amberly did a great job. She's very organized, of course. And I'm not going to brag on her too much because her head's already very large. But Amberly has been with me on the Youth Leadership Steering Committee and now on the Board of Directors, and is my chair-elect, and will next year be my chair, so I have to be very nice. But she does a fabulous job, and so Amberly will have a gift for you as well. So that was the steering committee. It was Sherry and Angie, and I'll come back to Angie, and Amberly, me and Michelle. And then this past year, we had new growth, obviously. So we're going to blame the growth on our new steering committee. Stacy Godfrey with the progress, she's not here, unfortunately. And then Keely Chalk, who's over to your right. And the video that was playing earlier, each of you will have that in your bag. So it's got your memories in that, so you can thank her for that. She is our guru with the video. She came to the, if you recall, she was a trooper at retreat. She was one-legged on some little nifty one-legged roller thing. She broke her foot or leg or something. If you go out back right now, her car is crunched. She had a wreck today, but she's here. And she was burning the last of those CDs over on the table. So talk about dedication. And she helped with the financial and resume building portion this year. So Keely is a great asset, and we are so proud to have her on board this year. So Keely is with Color Fund too. So whoever has Keely's gift, she has her notebook off somewhere, so thank you. And Rob Hoffbauer, he is the male token that has to hear all the women gossip. That's how we end the meeting. He's like, yep, I'm out here. We start talking girl stuff. He goes, hey, I'm here. Well, we keep talking. He goes, that's my cue, I'm out. So he's a great asset. He donated every single one of the books to our youth, the Success for Teens. I hope that you did not just read your one chapter. It's a great book. Thank you, Rob, for that donation and for pushing us to implement that. And he also assisted with financial resume building portion, as well as many other things. So we are happy to have you as our male token steering committee member. So who is our Rob Hoffbauer. And his gift that I get his bag, because when you're shopping for a bunch of women, it's so easy, but then you got to throw in a man. And I'm like, dang, I don't even. So if you don't like it, your wife will. we have Miss Cheryl Messner, who also joined us. And Cheryl Messner, CPA, and you see, she was in charge of our law enforcement session. Cheryl's very quiet, but Cheryl is very dependable. Cheryl is very detailed. We didn't see her for just a tad bit because she's a CPA, but she is an asset to our youth leadership. She's very passionate at what she does, and I'm proud to have her as part of the youth leadership as well as my board of directors. And looking forward to another great year and to see what else we can do to expand the program. So Cheryl, welcome aboard the youth leadership. She kind of followed in the footsteps of her husband, who served for, I don't know how many years, Charlie, you were on the youth leadership committee, but now we have Cheryl, and we are very, very happy to have her. Now I'm going to go back to Angie. Angie Jones, as I said, she came on board with me in 2007. She was at that time serving on board of directors for the chamber. She fulfilled her term, and then she left, but she remained chair of the youth leadership program. She's never stepped down as chair of youth leadership. When her term expired, she continued as youth leadership chair, 100% passionate about it, and then she was elected back to the chamber board, served as my board chair last year, and is past chair now. She just gives everything that she can to not just youth leadership, but to the chamber and to the community as a whole. So I can't thank her enough. She'll do anything for the community. She'll do anything for this program. So Angie, I want to tell you thank you very much. I think the youth know it. She's very quiet, but she's at everything that we do. So thank you very much, Angie. And Mr. Vanna, I appreciate you guys helping me out. You can have a seat now. Now it's time for us to recognize our youth, which is what we're here for. So I'm going to have Miss Angie come up here. We are going to go in alphabetical order is how the names are going to be called. And first off, we have Miss Elizabeth Adams. Elizabeth? Elizabeth is in August, 11th grade, and a one-year participant, so we hope to have you back next year. Next, we have Miss Hope Atkins. Hope is also in 11th grade. This is her first year participant, and so we hope to have Hope back next year. We have Jessie Brooks. Also known as Mr. Vanna. This was Jessie's first year, and unfortunately, he's a senior, so we won't be able to have him back next year, but we hope to hear how he's doing in college. Hey, come on, now. Gotta go smile. We have Miss Ann Brown. First year, she's in 11th grade. She's one of our actresses among the bunch. And we have Mr. Luke Burch. First year, and he is a graduating senior. I will have to attribute, these are a lot of our sports guys, and Cheryl helped to be able to make that happen. Working with the high school coach to accommodate their schedules. Okay. Miss Claire Callahan. Second year, and she is a senior. And Miss Claire, do you remember your name from last year? No. You were Considerate Claire Callahan. The ones that are returning, and I bet you wish I'd have forgot those names.
Glad you remember mine.
Yes, yours was a very nice one. They got to have these names that they had to think of, and I don't throw anything away. All right, our next is Miss Sadie Cornett. Sadie is a one-year participant, 11th grade, and Sadie, am I correct? You are at Buffalo Luz, right?
Not anymore.
Oh, never mind. You've got some great work experience at Buffalo Luz. So, hopefully we'll have Sadie back. Okay. Next we have another football player, Mr. Caleb Cowart. First year, and he's graduating, right? Graduating, right? Just teasing you. Huh? I don't know why. He is way more quiet than his dad. What is that?
That's what you'd like.
That's what you think. Yeah, he's well mannered. All right. And this one is just, we love you, Shelbi. This is Shelbi Reagan Fowler. But let me announce before you clap. You gotta clap this one. Her name was Swingin' Shelbi Reagan Fowler. Second year graduate, and she is a senior. And at the class presentation, she spoke with the most passionate voice and presentation that was so powerful, and that was just absolutely amazing. A great speaker. All right, this is a good name too. This is another two-year participant, 12th grade, and I have to add another name that doesn't really match, but entertaining lobster, Elliot Gallagher. Costume. And he loves his lobster costume. And he's very large lobster. So, I had to adjust that one. And he's always our centerpiece. What am I going to do without my centerpiece for photos? It's like, okay, Elliot, get right there. We're not around you. So, congratulations, Elliot. Okay, next we have Addie Garner. Addie is a senior, one-year participant. She's so quiet, you never know she's around. Congratulations, Addie. Miss Haley Gayden. Haley is in the 11th grade. This will be her first year. So hopefully we'll have you back next year as well. All right, Tucker James. Tucker is the first year, 11th grade, so hopefully you'll be back with us next year. This next young man could not be with us tonight. He was selected as the star student, and it's conflicted with tonight's banquet, so we will get his gifts to him. But congratulations to Andrew Haygood, he was ambivalent Andrew Haygood, 2-year graduate. Also, let's see. Miss Kari, Henke. Kari's first year, and she'll be graduating. Hoffbauer, or would Rachel want to come accept? I keep wanting to make your mom a class participant, but Madeline's sister participated as well. Maddie is a senior, second-year participant, so she's going to be leaving us. And this was a very appropriate title for Maddie. It was Motivating Madeline Hoffbauer. That's her name from last year. Next is Haley Kalson. Haley's first year, and she is a senior, so she will be graduating this year. Hannah Kilpatrick. Hannah is a first year, and she is in 11th grade, so we hope to see you back next year. Now we have the charming Colleen Leahy. She's a second-year participant and will be graduating. Hey, Alex LeMieux. First year, and so she's an 11th grader, and hopefully we'll have Miss Alex back in for one more year. Here is Miss Super Susannah Melton. For Hello Dolly. Susannah is a second-year graduate and will be graduating this year, and is a hoot. Mr. Derek Mesner. First-year graduate, but he is graduating from high school, and as shy and quiet as he looks and acts, he has a funny side. He actually is very entertaining. He was in my group. Shanel May? I say that name wrong every time. Macom? Is that right? And Shanel is a first-year participant and in the 11th grade. And me and Rob were putting your folder out today. We were debating on how to say your name. You'd have thought I'd have figured it out by now. Okay, Jenny. It's Jenny Morris. Hi, Jenny. Are you still at the store, or did I put my foot in my mouth again? Are you still at the UPS store? Okay. Just making sure. Jenny is a first-year participant and 11th grade, so we will find you and hunt you down if you don't come back. No, just kidding. This one I always mess up too. Miss Mia, or Mia Mosley? I did it. Maya all year. Year's over. First year graduate and 11th grade, so maybe next year you'll be Mia all year. All right, now Miss Raven Mullinax. Raven's first year and 11th grade, so hopefully you'll be back next year. Michaela Payne, our MC for the night. And Michaela is a returning, and her name was Mary Michaela. And one thing that Michaela forgot to mention is she got to pick the menu for dinner tonight. So, didn't it just fit right up for
macaroni and cheese, green potatoes, brownies and cookies. I liked it. Good job, Michaela. All right. The next young man could not be with us tonight, Mr. Julian Pianadosi. Tell me how good I am. I said it right. Mom and Dad are here. I know I've been working on that name for years. All right. The next young man could not get off work, Mr. Ty Aaron Prather. He's a senior. Both Julian and Ty are both seniors, so this is their graduating year. So we are to Savannah Rice. 12th grade, first year senior. The next young man is a returning, and he's a senior, and his sister and he were here last year together, so she went first to come up with her name, and she was Bright Brooke, and so he had to up her, so he's Brilliant Brad. Fortunately, he went after her, else I think she probably would have upped you. Are you Leslie? If you guys have ever heard Wesley speak, he's just hilarious. He just pieces and stitches. You're awesome, Wesley. Yeah, he has no chabon in his body. You're definitely coming back. You got to keep us entertained. First year, 11th grade. Wesley Shelton. All right. We have Miss Michaela Taylor. Michaela is first year, 11th grade, and Michaela's mom is Michelle Bracken, who is homesick. All right, we have another first year, 11th grade. Andy is how I know him, but it's Andres. Just do it to confuse me. He's first year, hopefully will be back next year. And I will tell you, I want to mention that Derek, Andy, Raven, and Michaela, all four, participated and volunteered to help out at our chamber winter ball. So thank you to all four of you for doing that. All right, Miss Hannah Walker. And I know where you are. You're at Starbucks. Unless you quit in the last 24 hours. That's not free. Okay, Anna is a one-year participant, but she is graduating. I haven't seen Rachel. You've been hiding tonight. Rachel Whitman. Okay, and Rachel has a name. Rachel was here last year. She's a 2-year graduate. Rowdy Rachel. I haven't seen the side of you, but I am betting there is that side. Hey, just a little bit. Now, that is our graduating youth for this year. Wonderful, wonderful class. Parents, you should be very proud of your child. Leaders in the room, be very proud that we have future leaders such as these. I do have a special recognition on behalf of the leadership program. If you recall, each of you were asked to sell golf carts. Did it? At the beginning of the year, and you were asked to sell one sheet. And anyone who went above that, the person who sold the most, would get a prize. Well, not only did this person sell more, pursuits. They also volunteered to work the Marble Festival. They never missed a session. They were active and participated in anything that we asked in the class sessions, and I'm very excited. They are an 11th grade student, and I hope that she returns. So, Miss Haley Gayden, congratulations. Just to let you know, the golf balls, as well as the overall golf tournament, raised almost $10,000 this year. And so the money for that was strictly for the for leadership programs. So half will go into adults and half will go into youth. So we're very, very excited, and I want to thank everyone that participated in one way or the other, bought a golf ball, bought a tee sign, played, hole sponsor, anything that you did, door prize, that is what that money went for. So thank you for supporting. Now, we have some special presentations. We have two programs within the chamber who took it upon themselves to raise money to be able to offer scholarships to our youth. And we're very thankful for that. I'm going to first introduce Michelle Robertson. Michelle works for the Holy Family Episcopal Church, but she is here tonight representing the professional women of Pickens County to present those scholarships, as well as Stephanie Ray. Stephanie Ray is the president of our professional women of Pickens County.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you, parents, for being here tonight. But we celebrate you, but more importantly, we celebrate your children. Professional Women of Pickens County took on the project this past year of Growing Leaders for Tomorrow. The tree that you see over here has leaves that represent sponsorships from community leaders, community businesses, as well as those we reached out to for $10, $15, and $25 scholarships. Our presentations are part of our scholarship program. The money that Professional Women of Pickens County raised was over $1,300. So tonight, we are proud to present $1,250 worth of scholarships to 5 recipients of the youth leadership class tonight. Let's give all of them a round of applause. Those that chose to apply, which we had 12 applicants, they filled out an application. They gave us 2 or 3 reference letters from either teachers, business leaders, or those that knew them well. Then we asked for them to write an essay. The essays were entertaining, to say the least. PWPC members read the essays, and we are proud to present 5 $250 scholarships to the following people. Ms. Stephanie Ray, our president of Professional Women of Pickens County, will be presenting both a certificate and a letter to each recipient. Once you have reached your college or gotten to where you will be continuing your education, we ask that you bring the letter back to the chamber and we will write you a check. So thank you again for everyone that participated. Our first winner this year is Haley Gayden. Our second winner is Savannah Rice. Our third winner is Michaela Payne. Our fourth is Madeline Hoffbauer. And our last recipient could not be with us tonight, but let's give him a round of applause, Andrew Haygood. I had the privilege of going and working on a session with all of these kids, as I call them. I got to show them some manners and teach them some etiquette. We learned how to eat soup. We talked about, do you eat fried chicken with your fingers, or do you use a fork and knife? I say this, be proud, Pickens County, of the leaders that you have in this room. You are growing what will lead our county into bigger and better things in the future. And I share these last words with you. Growing is healthy in the soil that is the fundamentals that we give them. Young leaders are not raised up in crowds, but through life-on-life mentoring in their relationships. Everyone that you're sitting at a table with is a mentor to you tomorrow, whether it be our young leaders or the best leadership class in Pickens County, which I am a very proud member. We thank you tonight, and if you are a woman in Pickens County, we invite you to come to PWPC. It's the first Thursday of every month, and we invite the young leaders to come and join us too. Thank you. And now I give you our grand leader from Leadership Pickens, Mr. Clint Weatherby.
My lovely Vanna, Miss Melissa Jordan. Thank you parents, thank you students for your participation, thank you to the Pickens County Chamber, thank you to the steering committee for both the youth leadership and the adult leadership. It's our privilege to be able to award five $500 scholarships tonight to 5 seniors that are graduating from both Pickens High School and Leadership Pickens Youth. Our selection, we actually followed the exact same format as PWPC. We used their application and followed the exact same procedure, but we had it filled out separately, so they had to apply a second time if they wanted to be eligible for this scholarship. We used a blind copy. We had them numbered anonymously, delivered to the steering committee, and we selected based off of reading the essays, applications, and their qualifications. We selected by number, turned it back into the chamber. The chamber matched the number up to the applicant, and that's how these winners were selected. So, without further ado, Michaela Payne. Shelbi Reagan Fowler. Madeline Hoffbauer. Derek Messner. And our final recipient, if I heard correctly, and forgive me if I'm wrong, I believe is not with us tonight, Andrew Haygood.
There are very few opportunities in which we as young people are given a platform to put the select group who truly deserve recognition in the spotlight. This is why, at this time, I would like to thank all the parents in attendance. More than anything, I would like to thank my parents. Mom, Dad, thank you for teaching me that showing kindness to others is the most effective way to accomplish any task, and that being a good person is more important than any receivable accolade. I would like to also thank the steering committee for their devout efforts to guide us as future leaders in this community, and to Ms. Cheryl Messner, who was my sponsor, for being a figurehead to look to and showing what a true leader of Pickens County should be. I am grateful for my time in the program, and I advocate all juniors to return and continue to expand their horizons. Though I am sad that I will not be returning, I expect nothing less than greatness from the youth of this community. Thank you. At this time, everyone is free and you are dismissed. However, I ask that all graduates, special guests, and scholarship presenters would stay for photos. Thank you again.